them mail.
Wow.
Hello.
So you're.
You're
Hear you now, Steve? I'm going to for the live. It's already, yeah. Just click on it. It's good. It gives the participants a little message and say, being streamed.
Yep, yeah, I see there's a few.
Yeah.
Not a big list, but
No.
you're shared or they just comment.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, it's already shown.
Actually working.
Me?
I'm here before 10.
Oh, yes, it was like 9 something.
9:17.
Yeah.
9:17:22, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, thanks for the headline, JT. Shortest commission
Oh, I got
in
it.
the history of the county. No, I get.
Oh, is that in the streets? I gotta look at that.
Was that in the paper?
Yeah. I said, don't.
Well, how did you
It's the shortest meeting ever.
We've done about 15 minutes here now.
Well, that just shows you're efficient.
Did you do like nine minutes or what?
The council meeting was pretty.
No, it was like
Why that
17
wasn't.
minutes.
I think we beat
I
that.
should have done that.
Remember that?
We
We heard like that.
Two people saying, making a motion,
Started
seconding,
making
and
a
that
motion, like, second.
that was it. There was really no discussion. Discussioners were absent.
Are you-
Executive was 3 times as long as the meeting.
But you gotta talk, Natalie said this.
Ah, you're visiting. I was looking.
Okay, yeah.
Natalie.
A minute?
Good morning.
No,
Morning.
or less.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, maybe the donuts for a while.
Yeah. Who can we call quick?
I passed this on, that's way over my head.
Yeah, mine too. I don't even know how to say that word.
Oh, so
Photonics.
that councils are.
9 o'clock, we're gonna call the meeting of the Codington County Commissioners to order. It's October 22nd. Oh, if I could have Myron lead the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Number 2 is a call for public comment. If anybody is wanting to make a comment, they can do so in person or they can do it by the telephone, 605-882-6248 or 605-882-6297. And if you have a cell phone, could you please silence it? And if you need to take a call, we'd appreciate if you do it in the hallway. Thank you. Item 3, is there any conflict of interest?
Nope. No.
No,
Okay. Item 4, we need a motion to approve the October 22nd
moved.
agenda. Okay,
So moved.
okay. Motion by Van Dusen, second by Gable to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need a motion to approve the October 15th minutes of the meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Gable,
I'll second it.
second by
I wasn't
Johnson. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 6, we get an update
Morning.
from Lewis. From the Watertown Boys and Girls
Okay.
Club.
Hi, good morning,
Thank you.
everybody. I'm Louis Canfield, Director of Youth Diversion here for the county and at the Boys and Girls Club. Just wanted to share an update with you as far as our recent numbers here for the past year, and then also our most recent quarter as far as juveniles at the detention center and within the youth diversion program. And then take any questions if anyone has any. But I always like to start with 2017, which is when we placed juvenile justice reform into action, making some changes to reduce our number of youth at the detention center. So as you can see there, average daily population for juveniles at the jail is 0.7, so still significantly lower than where we were when we put the change into effect. And just kind of hovering around where we've been since the changes were placed. Same with the average length of stay for juveniles. When it was nearly 8 days, we're down to just over 2 days for our average length of stay at the detention center. So moving relatively quickly, getting juveniles adjudicated and on to other things other than detention. So as far as youth that are transitioned to the youth diversion program, just wanted you to be aware of our growth. When we took over the program in fiscal year 20, we had 143 referrals, and that number continues to grow. 476 was the number of juveniles, cases, I should say, within the diversion program. And then I also like to keep on top of what types of cases we're seeing, because that does fluctuate from year to year. And our top concern right now is simple assaults. As you can see there, right now, that's the highest number of cases that are referred to the diversion program. Many of those happening at the school, fights with other kids. Some of them are family disputes. But it's definitely something that's gotten our attention as a JDAI collaborative. I've had conversations with folks in the community, specifically the Human Service Agency. We're trying to identify a program to send these kids to, kids that are showing aggressive behavior versus just regular counseling or community service or fees. That doesn't necessarily work. So we're trying to create, either find or create a program that kids can just get into versus having to wait for a month or two until a new program starts. An evidence-based program would be ideal. Nothing is in the works yet, but there are a lot of conversations to try to get this into place soon. So the idea with that is there are a few programs, if you guys are familiar with MRT, kids, that's a program where a variety of kids or different types of situations can be sent to MRT, but they can start right away, which is the benefit. You can start on step one where it's a small group session. There might be kids in there that are on group or session 7 or 8. So you don't have to wait until that cycles through.
MRT stands for.
Moral recognition training. Yep. So, hopefully I'll have an update for you at the next update, and we can start seeing those numbers trend downward. But it's definitely gotten our attention. You'll see tobacco and vapor on there as well. Still number 2, however, it's definitely trending downward, which is what we like to see. And then you can see the rest on there. So it's busy. We got a lot of cases. We did hire an assistant or a youth diversion coordinator. Miranda Wright is her name, and she's just been with us for just about 30 days and going through.
Good name for
So
the legal world.
it is a great name for the legal world, Miranda Wright. You can't forget that. So she is in her first 30 days, and hopefully we'll be taking on some of the cases soon, so we can. Because really, what they need is relationships and attention. The kids that we're dealing with need a lot of energy and a lot of attention. So that's a real brief update of as far as the kids that we're working with, and I'd invite any questions if anyone has any.
Sure, just on your previous chart here with the youth diversion growth. The one question I think I've asked it, and I ask this sometimes at our JDA meetings. These are individual kids or these are cases?
Correct. These are cases. So many times, kids will be in for multiple situations. Maybe they received a vape citation in addition to a truancy.
Right.
So to give you a better example, specifically for this quarter, we have 150 active referrals. We had 150 active referrals. 104 are still active, but it's 51 youth. So about half is the number of kids.
And then just because we talked, I think we talked last year about the growth, and to me, just so people, here's how I see it. I mean, I think in a way it's a good thing that we're trying to, it's kind of a nip it in the bud kind of attitude, so that these kids don't become adult offenders, so, and teaching life skills where they're necessary. I mean, that's kind of what a lot of that's kind of maybe the root of it. how to get along with others and basic stuff like that, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's the philosophy is try to get them redirected. It's not really punitive. Parts of it are punitive, but a lot of it is support, getting them connected with different resources. Miranda and I are going to be attending a restorative justice training in Rapid City here first part of next month to hopefully learn some new tools and tips to try to get kids redirected. Um, but we're seeing good results. I mean, it's a lot of kids, but we hover around 90% success rate, which means for a 90-day period, the kids follow their diversion plan, and that plan is unique to each individual kid. So depending on the charge, it could be counseling sessions, anger management, community service, fees. It's a variety of things. But for the most part, kids do get through successfully. And they certainly come through again. You know, we may see them again for something different. But we're seeing success with at least for a short term.
Well, good. Keep up the good work.
And the state does give us, they give, with each successful completion, we do get a little bit of money, which does help fund the program.
That's significant. Yeah, we receive it was bumped from $250 to $750 per successful case. So that was a significant bump this past year. So that does help continue to operate the program. So all right.
Great.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Louis. Okay, we'll move down to our monthly reports and we'll have Andrew come up for the emergency management.
Morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Well, this month, the Emergency Management Office had a couple of big due outs with the end of the year in the LEMPG. Among them, we did our tabletop exercise, which was continuity of operations plan tabletop. I thought that overall it went fairly well, and there's a lot of good input, and I mean, there were 16 people that attended. So, I mean, there's plenty of people for some collaboration there. So that was good. We also kind of established a way forward with getting that plan documented, or like getting the plan, you know, put to paper. And yeah, hopefully next year we can, plan is to exercise that, and with functional exercise, and then moving on, it would be a full scale. We also completed the submission of our annual report to SDOEM, which is kind of the other big LEMPG due out that we had. Sherry, go ahead.
Sure, just so.
Sorry.
What's SCOAM again?
The South Dakota Office of Emergency Management.
SDOE, okay, I forgot.
Sherry was called out twice, like over my drill weekend, for with the search and rescue team to help locate missing juveniles. Both of those turned out well. One of the LARC members reached out to me, talking about an exercise that they could potentially do just to exercise some of their capabilities if like one of our repeaters were to go down. So I went to the meeting and we kind of discussed it. Ultimately, they decided to push that for the time being, but that's likely a future exercise that we're going to have. I reached out to Greg Wall. He was on board with it. Essentially, we would unplug a repeater and, you know, page a fire department to make sure that the way that they set up their radios would be able to facilitate that. So that's they're a great community organization, and definitely like help our level of preparedness. One of the heaters at search and rescue during service and inspection, we found out that it had a bad heat exchanger. So that one's deadlined. That's going to be a future, I guess, I think agenda item 8. So I do have quotes on that unit. Sherry and I attended Alice training, and then the sheriff's office and emergency management office attended 511 presentation, I guess. ultimately, it's going to give counties opportunities to show on the 511 site when county roads are closed. Ideally, well, and that information would feed over to different navigation apps. So the thought is that when the interstate gets closed for, winter travel, that they're not rerouted through county roads, which may be just as bad as what the interstate was, and we end up with, right, and we end up with stranded motorists. So I think that that's going to be an overall good thing.
So on the 501, what would that require of the county? I mean, obviously it's gonna be, somebody's gonna have to be putting that information into the system to.
Yes, so between Sheriff's Office and Emergency Management Office, and we'll be in touch with the Highway Department, and so.
It doesn't seem like that onerous of a requirement.
No, I don't think so. I mean, all of our roads would be like, they're either open or closed, or, once they're closed, we don't separate, different highways. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of a countywide deal.
Okay.
Also, a lot of times you see like a little bit further north, the roads are significantly worse than here. So I mean, if the other counties are shutting down their roads, it shouldn't reroute them through our county roads, if
Right, no,
that makes sense.
makes a lot of sense.
So,
I'm just thinking about, where county assets have to be applied to keeping this thing updated is kind of what I was.
no, it's just basically a single authorized person, or
Okay.
like a couple people would likely have the permissions to do that.
Okay.
I reached out to Red Cross, so they could assist a displaced family. And then there's a local business that is getting ready to conduct an exercise internally to their organization. So they reached out to me, they reached out to fire department, and we've attended a handful of meetings with them. Just overall, good discussions. I think initially they were a little bit surprised at the number of things that go into like evacuating people, and if they were going to move them off site. And I don't know, it's fun watching people kind of get what needs to happen, and go from, a little bit deer in the headlights, like, oh, who's going to do this, who's going to do this, and just having those discussions does wonders as far as like how they're going to be able to prepare or to respond when that occurs. I also a lot of times get the question, well, hey, what are you going to be doing? And it's like, well, I'm probably going to be pulling together some public safety people, and setting up an incident command system, and it might be hours before somebody actually can physically get to you, depending on the scope of what the disaster is. So I think sometimes too that, like, everybody's used to like prompt service from our emergency responders, and like depending on the scope of the incident, sometimes that's not always possible. So I think it's just good communicating that as well. Sherry's been assisting with early voting as needed. And then, yeah, I guess for 16, I guess there's not been much meaningful precipitation, and with the growing season over, I guess I don't see things changing much, even when, if we do get some precipitation later this week. I guess I'd lean towards no change on the burn ban until harvest season is closer to being completed.
Yep.
Should we take number 8?
Yeah, let's go to number 8, long as Andrew's up here. You can see you want to explain those, Andrew, we got those 2 quotes here.
Yeah, so one of the furnaces, like I said, has a bad heat exchanger. I think it's 105 BTU unit that's currently there. There were 3 quotes that I received. The lowest one is $2,867.48.
A lot of difference, isn't there?
There is a big difference in the price. So
It beats all this specs and everything?
Yeah, actually, this one's a slightly bigger unit than the other
Yeah.
two that were quoted, so. I guess I would go, or I would lean towards purchasing the one from Joe's and having them.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
A motion by Gable to approve the quote from Joe's.
Yeah, Joe's Heating and Cooling for $2,867.48.
There a second?
Second.
Second by Waterman. Any further questions?
Can they install that immediately? Is it available?
You know, I guess I'll reach out to them, I guess,
Before winter?
yeah,
Preferably,
preferably.
yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
all right, thanks, Andrew.
Go Yokes.
Yeah, there's, yep, no sheriff's report today. Okay, we'll move down to number 9 then. Discussion of possible action to approve lighting project at the highway department as budgeted.
Another big change here.
Thank you for getting this on the agenda this week.
Yes, morning. So this was budgeted. I've got 2 quotes, one from Schneider Electric and one from Muth Electric. The main difference is the price. It's the same amount of fixtures. And I did ask Muth the difference between the fixtures. And he said the biggest thing is the Keystone, which is the $24,772 quote, that they could get them this year. He wasn't sure on the other ones.
Okay,
But after looking them over, I would recommend the Schneider Electric.
budgeted item. I'll make a motion. Go ahead and approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Van Dusen, second by Johnson, to approve this lighting project. Any other questions?
Quick question, Mr. Chair. So the lighting in the Schneider quote does it match up with one of the two in the Muth quote?
I mean, they're both for 55 fixtures.
Okay. so
Total.
As far as the type of fixtures, there's not.
Correct.
I mean, the spec and what you need.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
All LED.
Yeah, they're both LED, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yep. Yep. Schneider just has it broke down to how many fixtures in each part, you know, the cold storage building, the shop.
right.
You guys will have to get dark glasses and wear hats.
Right? Close off the windows.
Sounds good.
Now, do I sign for this then? Or does the chair need to sign?
That's Brenda Chair. Yeah,
Okay.
Chair signs it.
Okay.
Any,
Get that done after the meeting.
Yep.
any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for taking
Thank you.
care of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want him just to leave that with you, Brenda, or Lynn?
I can have them sign one of these, it's okay, it's the same thing, yeah.
Okay,
So.
okay.
Yep, we'll get it.
Okay.
I'll put it,
Yep,
I'll put it in
great.
the mailbox when we have it.
Okay, moving down to number 10. Need action to approve resolution 2024-31 canceling unclaimed checks and warrants for SDLC.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any further questions?
And
This
that
is just
includes-
done yearly. These are
That's it.
individuals who didn't cash their checks and has to clean out the treasurer's records, so.
Seeing no more questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 11. In action to approve consultant agreement between Codington County Community Service and Amanda Shea.
Good morning.
Fill us in, Sarah?
Yeah, good morning, good morning. So this is actually an extension. Mandy had been working with us through an internship. She's completed the internship and so she'll no longer be under the internship. This would just be a contract to continue the work. It's covered under the Beyond Idea grant, so there's no expense to the county for it. Yeah.
Move to
Move to
approve.
approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Van Duzen. I have how long is this up for?
Oh, that's so through December 31st,
Oh,
and then
just-
we'll reevaluate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just
December
October, so her internship ended October 8th, and then it would go through December 31st, and then we'll reevaluate where we're at that point with that.
Okay.
Do you have the updated?
I do.
Contract?
Yes.
I'll have it signed and then.
Okay, either way. Yeah, you can scan it.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sarah.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
item 12, need a motion to declare office equipment at the Codington County Extension Office surplus.
It's a fax machine. I don't know what their intentions are exactly. I didn't think to ask Becky, but they just want to surplus it. They're no longer using it, so. I don't know if it's to be destroyed or if another office could use it, so.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any further question? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, item 13. Discussion possible action to appoint interim highway superintendent.
Me?
Sorry. Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
Either you or JT.
Sorry. Yes, so Rick's retirement is done at the end of this month, as you know, October 31st. We're accepting applications yet for highway superintendent.
Are
But I-
they, you got any yet?
One, I believe so far.
Well,
And I've had a gentleman contact me too.
I think I've heard of people that are going to be applying,
Yeah.
but haven't, yeah, so.
Oh.
So obviously we need to leave it open further and it will not be filled by the time he's done. So I would request that you appoint somebody in the interim, and my recommendation, I would guess, would be Assistant Superintendent Lynn Solberg until we can get that position filled.
He's willing to do that.
He is willing to do that, yes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Johnson to appoint Lynn Solberg as the interim highway superintendent. Any further questions or?
Just one question, the opening, that's open until filled?
Yes,
Okay, so we don't have a deadline date on the application?
no, well, we kind of talked about, we'd give people a heads up as it got closer, like a week in advance or so,
Okay,
but
that's right.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't meet, of course, next week, so into November for sure it'll be.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope it's a smooth transition.
Okay, item 14, we need a motion to reschedule the meeting to November 5th, from November 5th to November 7th due to the general election.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any other discussion?
I'll probably be here on the 5th anyway, so I always show up on Tuesdays, but.
Yeah, thank you for not having a board meeting on election day. That might just be a little, besides we'll canvass the vote side
Yeah.
too, so.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, there will be no meeting next Tuesday due to being the 5th Tuesday in October. Number 16, action to approve resolution to lift the ban on open burning. And as we've been advised by Andrew, we'll keep that burn ban in effect till further notice. Number 17, action to approve abatement.
No abatements.
No abatements.
Like that.
Any action to approve any claims for payment? I see we have.
Yes, we have claims. You have a list of those. I don't know if there's anything you want in particularly explained, otherwise the total amount is 10,674.35. Just trying to clean up yet after the early cutoff.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable to approve these claims for payment. Any other question?
So one of the, just because of information, one of the payments to the architects that are helping us as consultants with the jail project, that's on here for $4,000. And then, did you have the advanced corrections of the medical thing?
What was that?
Am I looking at the right piece of paper here? This-
No, you have, there's another one. It's in your
Oh,
packet.
okay.
That
Sorry,
was
okay,
from
never
last
mind.
week.
Never mind what I said.
What was that again? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
No, never-
That's why I asked
I
him
was
to
just
say
noticing
it.
that there was an architecture.
Oh,
So,
there was
okay.
one last week, yeah,
Okay,
or the last
sorry.
time, but not this time.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions on these claims?
This is cool.
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Okay.
carries.
One other thing, we do need to redo the 911, the one that we did last week because we really didn't have a quorum voting. So there was only two people
Oh,
voting
good,
because you recused yourself.
Oh, sorry about that.
And I didn't think about it till after the meeting,
That's a
so
good point.
we will need to do this one again
So I will
to the
excuse
city of
myself.
Watertown. We'll need a motion in a second. The amount being paid is $37,446.27 for the 911 remittance.
I'll second it.
Who made the
So,
motion?
I mean,
Okay.
Motion by Gable, second by Johnson, to approve this 911 surcharge. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, we have no automatic budget supplements.
Personnel changes,
You do have one of those. It is a new administrative support hire for the county treasurer's office effective November 1st, 2024. The individual's name is Andrea Midko. Sorry if I'm not.
How you say that name?
I don't know. You can say it how you, I don't know. I don't know.
Andrea S.
Schmidtko.
Schmidko.
Schmidtko.
Anyway, she'll start at step 3, grade 20, 2052 an hour, 3,570.48 a month.
Pretty much to approve.
motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Johnson to approve this personnel change. Any other questions?
I met her this morning when I paid my real estate taxes, people. It's that time of the year. Oh.
I didn't meet her this morning because I was busy voting absentee.
And he signed his life away.
Anybody else want to chime in here? with it?
Well, I could like, where did I put that? I did have a tally of voters. I don't know where. I
Okay,
said
let's vote on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Yeah, Brenda, would you?
that. I don't know where I put my sticky note.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was 2,000. It's almost 3,000 early voters at this point.
Wow, that's
I'll find it.
encouraging.
I was
Great
organized.
great.
and
public involvement. That is super.
Yes, it is good.
Okay,
Travel request number 21.
Mr. Chair, can I back up for just a second on the
Yep.
personnel? Since we approved our interim highway superintendent, will that be in? I
They
assume
stay
that
at, anytime we've had an interim, they stay at their current rate of pay.
They do?
Yep.
Okay, all
That's the
right.
way it's been in the past. I don't know.
Do we have to do change next week or
It would be in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
But
Well,
there's no pay increase.
If
We'll be
if
into
he's
November
staying,
then.
yeah, if his pay is staying the same, that won't change to do a personnel change. I don't think so. It's just, you made the motion to put him. Yeah, I don't think we need to.
So what we did today was good enough. All right.
Oh.
Very good.
That will cover it because there's no change.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're at travel requests, number
You have-
21.
4 of those. So there are 2, like government buildings and one for the highway department and one emergency management. They are all, attending a conference. And you have all the information on your forms. If, they're attending, well, I shouldn't- we get a discount if 4 individuals sign up for a conference. 1 is allowed to attend free of charge.
Do you want us to vote on those separately or should we? put them
No, they can all
together?
be together.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gable, second by Johnson to approve the travel request. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 22. Public notice, possible quorums.
I have, this Sunday is the 4-H recognition event. And that's Sunday noon or Sunday 2 o'clock or something like that. And there could very well be a quorum there. I know Charlie's usually there and I'm usually there and Brenda is there many times, so. We're honoring the 4-H members and leaders and all those that are involved with 4-H in the county. Nice event. And they serve SDSU ice cream. That's called the frosting on the cake.
Any other? Okay, item 23, is there any old business? Is there any, item 24, is there any new business?
I could let you guys know. So if you notice on the claims, we had one for Claims Associates that was for a few individuals that was through the zoning, were taking us to court on an issue which was dropped, but we still have to pay the bill. So as I was going to try to pay that, I looked at your budget. I put it in the planning and zoning budget because at this point, your other current expenditures has been overspent by $56,000. And so I'm gonna pass this down. You guys can look at it. You should have enough for salaries for the end of the year. Just FYI, you may need commissioner contingency. You have 37,437.74 left in your budget. So just thought I better bring that to your attention that there should be a couple more there, Troy.
Oh,
Is there another one? Yeah. Just take a look at it. Yeah.
You guys gotta cut back.
A big chunk that is the architects, all that extra things that you've had in that 429. That is what
Well, that was
has
budgeted.
depleted it.
That was
It-
budgeted.
You had to over budget it. You
$70,000.
went over your budget, obviously, because you're $56,000 in the hole.
The
Not
budget
good.
was 70,000.
Yep.
That's.
Well,
what-
I
then we need
have-
to look over the bills. And we never-
I
we did
can
look
give
at the-
you the,
What?
I can give you a list of everything that's been taken out.
Yeah, that would be good.
We budgeted 70,000 and we spent $126,430.
Yeah. Just thought I better bring it to your attention because,
good.
so you know, I didn't realize it until I started going through to
Yeah.
pay this claim, so. I will do a 429 for you guys.
What's that, 429?
I have it right here, actually.
that's it. That's the line. Whoops.
Just that line, that's that line
Yeah.
item there, what all went.
I'll make
through.
copies and get it to all
Get
of
us
you.
copies of that so we can look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the good news.
Okay, I think we'll just pay it as you have it out of that account. We
If-
just know that where we're at with our
Yes, So going forward, I'll keep an eye on it because we may have to do commissioner contingency before the end of the year if it depletes it. Otherwise, I don't know if you have any other bigger things that you know are coming out, so just point
we have
of
any.
note.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if the full architect bill, I think, is paid up, but we'll take her.
Should, well.
The last-
I mean, we know, we agreed on we signed the contracts. Well, we'll talk about it.
Yep,
So the
yep.
only thing that could possibly be is a few expense items, but shouldn't be matched in that amount, so.
Right.
Let's go back and take a look.
Yep.
Okay, there's no other new business. We'll move into the number 25, the open. It's time for public comment. If somebody out there would like to make a public comment. Hear anybody on the phone? There any commissioner comments?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a comment, more of a thank you than anything. I wasn't at the meeting last week. I was selected to participate in the Northeast honor flight. And it's a event that honors veterans and for their service and so on. And it was one big giant day. I rolled out of bed at 2 a.m. a week ago today, and we boarded planes, flew it in DC, toured 18 memorials, and boarded the plane, flew back to Sioux Falls, and were greeted by 2 welcome home groups. One was at the airport and one was at the arena. Very, very well done. Very, very well organized. You could about imagine there was 85 vets, just like herding a bunch of cats, you know. But I didn't think it could be done in a day, but it was done in a day, but it was one giant day. The only one that I know right here, there's probably others, but Dale Christensen has been on that honor flight once as a veteran and once as a chaperone. And if you ever have an opportunity to help support that group, I would encourage it. It was very, very well done. And like I was telling earlier, you know, when I got out, I just was glad to get out and get home. You know, but now it's 50+ years later. It is kind of nice to get welcomed home. And so it was I know my son went along with me, which was really cool as a chaperone. And when we got off the plane in Sioux Falls, they had the bagpipes there with the reception, you know, and he said, Dad, I can't believe it, but he said, I shed a tear. He said, I didn't think that happened, you know, but he said, it kind of got to me. And I said, yeah, you know, it is heartwarming. So all those that played any part or have made contributions to that group, thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. It was very, very well accepted. That's it.
And Mr. Chair, if I could have the floor for just a moment.
Yep.
So the 85 that were on that flight, and to you, Commissioner Johnson, thank you
Thank you.
for your service and what you've done for our country. So thank you.
And I'm still alive.
And Commissioner Gable and vets, everybody. Thank you.
If there's no other further comments, there is a need for executive session under number 3, contract negotiation.
So move.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Gable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll now go into executive session.
Can I interject a couple of questions?